You know that feeling, right? You drive past a huge construction project, you see what's there with your own eyes, but then you read a report that says it's nearly done, and you just think, no way, that can't be right. Well, that gap, that disconnect between what a progress report says and what's actually built, is a massive, and I mean massive, problem in the industry. So today, let's pull back the curtain and figure out why that report in your hand so often feels like a complete illusion.
Okay, so in a perfect world, the progress report is supposed to be the absolute source of truth. Think of it like a project's vital signs monitor. Its job is to give everyone, from the client all the way to the project manager, a totally accurate, real-time picture of what's been physically done on site. It's the one tool we're supposed to be able to trust to tell us if we're on time, if we're on budget, and if we're on track. Simple, right? Well, here's where it all goes sideways. What happens when that vital signs monitor is just making things up? When the numbers are nothing more than wishful thinking? This isn't just some small clerical error. A fantasy report creates a huge, dangerous blind spot. It means teams are making really important decisions based on information that is just not real. So how does this even happen? How do we get from reality to fantasy? Well, it all starts with a failure in the most fundamental task of all, measurement. Let's get into where the data goes wrong right from the get-go. And look, this isn't usually about people trying to be deceptive. The real problem, the distortion, it starts with flawed methods. Instead of measuring actual, tangible work that's been completed, like how many cubic meters of concrete have actually been poured, teams often fall back on subjective guesses. Or they use proxies, like how much time has passed or how much money's been spent. And that, right there, is a recipe for disaster. I mean, this slide just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got ideal reporting. That's objective, it's verified, it reflects what's really happening on the ground. But on the other side, you've got flawed reporting. It's all just subjective estimates, assuming progress because you've spent money. It doesn't reflect reality, it creates an illusion of progress.
And boom, here's the result of that illusion. Just look at that gap. The report is screaming, we're at 85%, we're almost there. But the reality on the ground? It's 55%. That 30-point difference, that's not a rounding error. That's a giant chasm. And it's filled with hidden problems, surprise costs, and major delays that nobody sees coming.
Now, a gap like that doesn't just sit there quietly. Oh no, it sets off a dangerous chain reaction, a real domino effect, where that one little distortion snowballs into a cascade of risk that can threaten the entire project. And this, right here, is the absolute key. The real danger of overreporting isn't just that the percentage is wrong, it's that the pretty picture it paints actively hides the real issues that are bubbling just under the surface. If everyone's high-fiving because they think the project's going great, then nobody is looking for the quality issue, the safety hazard, or the supply chain mess that's about to bring everything to a grinding halt. You can see the whole chain reaction laid out right here. It starts with one simple, flawed measurement. That leads to a bogus report. Because of that report, real, actual problems on site get completely ignored. So any chance to fix it gets delayed. By the time anyone figures out what's really going on, it's way later, it's way harder, and it's a heck of a lot more expensive to fix. The risk just multiplies. So what does that multiplied risk actually look like? Well, it looks like this. This is how you get massive budget overruns that seem to come out of nowhere. It's why you get severe schedule delays that push you back by months. It's where you find unaddressed safety hazards, compromised quality, and maybe worst of all, when the truth finally comes out, you get a total loss of trust from your stakeholders. And that can be the hardest thing to ever get back. Okay, so after all that doom and gloom, what do? What's the fix? Well, it's not some crazy new technology or a massive, expensive overhaul. It's actually about getting back to basics. It's about one thing. Clarity. Yep, it's really that straightforward. When project leaders have a clear, honest, and truly accurate picture of what's happening on site, they're empowered. They can finally make smart, proactive decisions instead of just reacting to crises. See, accuracy isn't about micromanaging the team. It's about enabling truly good leadership. And when you finally have that accuracy, you get this amazing virtuous cycle. You can spot problems early, right? Which means you can create realistic timelines. And that in turn lets you use your people and your resources way more effectively. It all just feeds into itself, creating this culture where decisions are driven by actual data, not just by wishful thinking. So at the end of the day, the really crucial point is this. We've been talking about data and reports, but what this is really about is control. Having clear, accurate information is the absolute foundation of being in control of a complex project. Without it, you're not managing the project at all. You're basically just a passenger on a ship that's sailing straight into a storm that you can't even see. And that really leaves us with one final big question for you to think about. Take a hard, honest look at your own projects. Are they built on a solid foundation of real data, giving you the clarity you need to succeed? Or are you building on an illusion, just one bad report away from a crisis?